What's up, guys? Welcome to John's Daily Hustle. So I just got through my first year of lawn care and I was able to go full time, and well, like I keep saying, I feel like I've done pretty well for myself. I was able to go full time. I have my wintertime fund saved up. And I've got a lot of equipment here, as you guys can see. But lots of lessons were learned this year. Both good and bad lessons. I'm going to be restructuring my business for next year with the lessons that I've learned. Things that work, things that don't work. I'm going to implement them in my business for next year. So let's jump into this and talk a little bit more in depth on what I'm doing for next year to help myself, to better myself, and it might better yourself as well. One thing I know you guys hear a lot of guys say in this business is route density is key. And I learned this year that that definitely is the case. So one thing I did this year is I worked for a property management company, which whether that was a good thing or a bad thing, we'll address that in a later video. But yeah, I got sent everywhere. On top of me accepting just about any property I could get, any customer I could get just about, and then working for a property management company who had houses all over the place, kind of scattered throughout a pretty big radius. I was sent everywhere. Yeah, I was thankful to get to work. However, that route density really came back to bite me here in the season. And I unfortunately didn't learn that lesson until the end of the season now, where, I sit down, crunch numbers, and realize that, something's got to change for next year or I'm going to go out of business. Not that bad, but I'm not very lucrative, or it wasn't a very profitable year, I guess I could say. That might not be the right thing to say either, but you guys kind of get what I'm saying. Some of you guys that don't really understand, you guys might be thinking, how is driving a lot not profitable, or how is that hurting? Why are you changing that? I had a lot of windshield time, as they call it. And really, you want less windshield time and more mowing time, more seat time on a mower. The quicker you're back on the mower mowing, the more money you're making per hour. As well as, I drive an F-150. It gets 14 miles to the gallon, I think, on a really good day. But with me driving, because I'm a little bit of an aggressive driver, I get maybe 12 miles to the gallon. So that's not the thing. The fuel mileage isn't even the thing either. Yeah, I went through a lot of fuel, but let's just talk about the wear and tear alone on it. I mean, when you're driving close to, 50 to 100 miles a day, every day of the week, that's a lot of miles you're racking up. So that's a lot of fuel you're putting out. That's a lot of wear and tear. It's a lot of oil changes, your tires. And then the big thing that came back to bite me in the butt is the depreciation of my truck. The amount of wear and tear it put on it, and all the dents and dings and bangs that it's got on it, the truck really isn't worth much. So I was hoping to upgrade now and get a 3/4 ton, which we'll get into that in a later video as well. But because of all the driving I've done, it's not worth anything, and I didn't factor that depreciation into my pricing and that kind of thing. So that came back to bite me in the butt a little bit this past year. If you haven't learned this already and you're new, learn this from me now, from my experience, that you want route density. And like me, I totally understand when you drive everywhere just because you're thankful to get the customer, to get the experience and that kind of thing. I did learn a lot, and whether it was a good or bad thing, like I said, I guess it would be a bad thing if I don't implement what I've learned into next year. Then I'd be crazy, right? So the other thing I learned this year is I'm going to be very picky going into the next season on who I pick up as a customer. Instead of me saying yes to everybody and picking up as many as I can get, no. You have a certain set of criteria that I'm going to do in my head as I'm talking to new potential customers, and they've got to hit that for me to say yes. And here I can elaborate a little more. I want customers that are going to spend money. I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. I've had too many customers this year that said they like cheap. And that's a big red flag to anybody. If they say that, unless you want to be known as the cheap guy, steer clear. Pricing for their lawn maintenance was pretty fair for what goes on in the area out here. However, they don't want to spend any extra money on their lawn. They just want to cut to the ground, almost scalped off, and then you leave. I want customers that want their yard looking like a golf course. You should too, because then you can upsell them on your aerations, dethatchings, that kind of thing, leaf cleanups, all that good stuff. So that's what I'm going to also look for going into next year. The other thing I'm going to do for next year is my equipment. As you guys know, I have a lot of equipment that I've started with and that I've upgraded to, and that, things broke on me. So one thing I'm going to do next year is I'm going to start with the most efficient equipment I could possibly do. Whether that means I have to go out and buy a brand new mower if I can, or whatever I have to do. I don't need this many mowers out here in my garage. I don't need to run it, especially when they're just sitting here. It's sitting assets, and that's just money sitting in my garage. It's not worth anything, right? So I'll touch more base on that in a later video, probably the next video you guys might see. I'll put the link up if it's already up or not. But anyways, I'm going to be getting rid of a lot of equipment. There might be some mowers that stay, some mowers might go. You don't know. But we'll get into that in a later video. But anyways, I'm really going to focus on the most efficient setup I could possibly run. If it's going to save me time or make me money, that's the setup I'm going to go with. There's lots of lessons learned, like I said, from last year, so I'm really going to try my best to grow off of those experiences, whether it was good or bad, and I'm really looking forward to next year. I'm very excited for it. I already have a really good plans put out. I know what I'm going to do. It's just a matter of I got to be a little bit patient here. You know, I'm wanting everything from next week. I want it now, that kind of thing, if that makes any sense, but I just got to be a little bit patient here. I've got my game plan. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm working for. So next year, I think it's going to be a really good year, and I'm really excited to bring you guys along with it. Like you said, you guys have gotten to see me start from the very beginning when I was loading that up into the bed of my truck with the ramps, and then I got the first free mower, whether that was a good thing or bad. We won't talk about that, but anyways, you guys have seen all the equipment I've got, and then up to that. So I'm pretty excited to bring you guys along the way. I've got lots of big stuff. There's going to be some new upgrades on the other side of this door here. I really can't wait to bring you guys. You guys will probably see that most likely after this video anyway, so I could probably say that now. But anyways, I'm really excited to bring you guys along with the way. I hope you guys enjoy my content. I hope you guys enjoy my videos. I know these videos are kind of me just talking. They might be a little bit boring, but I just want to be real with you guys. You know, I want you guys to see that I'm not faking anything and I'm not scripted. You know, there's no scripts on the walls here. That's why I mess my words up all the time. You know, I'm just trying to be a real guy with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys are entertained. And I really appreciate all of y'all's support and everyone who watches. So thanks for you guys watching. Please hit this like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.